What is up, plant nerds? Good to see you here again on the Grassroots Garden. I know I look pretty rough, but I've been out here gardening. If your hands don't look like that, then you're not doing it right. And I probably got stuff all over my face, but it's a nice afternoon. It's been a long day at work, and I'm down here in one of the first beds as you come up the driveway. I brought some plants home from the nursery, and I want to show you guys what I've planted, and we're going to plant one more really special Japanese maple. So stay tuned, hit that like and subscribe down there. So like I said, this is one of the first beds as you come down the driveway here, and it's a pretty large bed. I've done some pruning. You can see some black spots around some of the plants there. I added some compost. We're gonna walk through here. I'll show you the new plants that I've added. But again, just a beautiful afternoon. Dad just came and fed the catfish a while ago, so they were down there churning the water up in the pond. But let me get focused back here. We planted some oak leaf hydrangeas, which the deer have munched on in the past. We're gonna have to just kind of keep our fingers crossed. And they haven't messed with really a lot of anything here recently. I think they've got enough to eat up in the woods. They're leaving our stuff alone for now. So we're just gonna have to cross our fingers. Look at these beautiful blooms. This is one of my favorite plants. So this is Hydrangea quercifolia, or oak leaf hydrangea. You can see how the leaves look like oak leaves. Has beautiful fall foliage. I think I'll probably get 6 by 6. So that's what I kind of want. I planted 3 right here. I want them to just get up big and huge. And the blooms are just fantastic, and they'll go all the way till fall until they kind of fade away. Our azaleas, the deer really hit them pretty hard this year. I didn't have any flowers on them. So we're gonna come in here, get all the pine straw out of the bottom, fertilize them, and just again, keep our fingers crossed that the deer stay away. I did plant this beautiful Japanese maple here. This is winter orange, I believe. Yes, Acer palmatum winter orange. So this will have some really nice orange. You can kind of see it's got a little bit of an orange tint to it right now. I'm not sure how well the camera's picking that up, but you can definitely see it on some of the petioles. But anyway, this bark will be really nice and bright orange after the fall comes and it loses its leaves. So just put it right there. It'll also kind of offer some shade eventually to the oak leaves and the azaleas. My loropetalums had a huge limb fall on this guy. I just chunked it over in the woods, but it broke him in 2. So I came in and pruned him up. We added some biotone and a little bit of compost. Hopefully they're going to rebound. So I just kind of pruned up all these different loropetalums right here. And then I came in and planted, this is Zinfandel. This is another type of hydrangea, Hydrangea paniculata. It's going to have big blooms similar to the oak leaf that we just looked at. These will fade to pink later in the summer. Now, whether or not it'll flower this year, it was kind of struggling down in my grow nursery area. But it blooms on new wood, so hopefully we'll get some flowers on that little guy. Got a tea olive kind of struggling back here, so I added some compost to him. And then if you remember from one of the previous videos, this was that sand cherry that I asked you guys about. I don't know a whole lot about it, but it's got beautiful purple foliage, so I kind of tucked it back here on the back of the bed so that it can grow up and give us a nice backdrop. I planted a little dwarf ginkgo. That one's called American. So stays relatively small. It should give us some really nice golden fall color. We've got a little crepe myrtle here that I came in and pruned. A Japanese maple that is really, really struggling right here. I don't know what's going on with this guy. He's just a seedling. I think he was actually one that I tried to graft on. It didn't take, so that's just a regular old Acer palmatum. If he makes it, fine. If not, that's okay. We'll throw something else in this spot. This is a ginkgo biloba. It has a gorgeous, gorgeous fall color, as I was saying a while ago. Just a beautiful gold. And then let's see what else I want to show you guys. Oh, we brought this in. This is a really cool native. This is Calocarpa americana, or your beauty berry. So this will have purple berries all over it in the wintertime if it's successful in setting its fruit. And then my bottle brush really suffered from the cold. Half of the plant died. So I came in here, pruned out all the dead stuff. Still, that was last night when I was doing that, and it was about half dark, so we need to come in and get just a little bit more of the dead out. But she's still hanging on. She's flowering, so I think it's gonna be just fine. I'm gonna try one of these sweet potato vines right here. You can see some bugs are already chewing on it. Hopefully they'll leave it alone and let it do its thing. And it's a runner, so it's gonna come on down here and kind of head towards the driveway. We've got some gardenias here that should be blooming here soon. I believe this is Radicans gardenia, nice evergreen. And then we've got a Hibiscus mutabilis, or the common name you've probably heard, Confederate rose. This is a beautiful, beautiful small tree. This thing will probably get, well, not probably, last year it was at least 15 feet tall, and has nice white flowers that fade to a pink and then to a red. Beautiful, beautiful tree. It has these canes that will die back. This is from last year's growth. They're kind of late to push new growth. This one's only been pushing growth for the last month, but it's doing good. So I came and ripped out all the old dead canes out of it. Now we're going to let it do its thing right here and get nice and big for us. Then over here, kind of tucked up on the wood line, we've got another beautiful Japanese maple. Look at the color of that guy. So this is Acer palmatum octopus. Had this one growing for a few years. It's named octopus because its form is, it kind of just hangs down like octopus tentacles. You can see it's kind of starting to do it now. So it's a weeper. It was definitely a high graft, so we've gotten up a little bit taller. Now we're just going to kind of let it fall right there, and I think it'll be really pretty in that spot. And then I went ahead and just threw another oak leaf in down here to kind of tie the bed together. So just a single one down here, all the way at the other end of the bed is where we have the three. So it just kind of gives it a little more natural look to the bed. I think if you don't do just all your plantings in one spot, just kind of spread them out a little bit. And then over here in the plant mobile, I've got a really pretty Japanese maple. This one is called Pink Lace. So this is another heavily weeping Japanese maple. Only gets probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 foot tall, but about 6 to 7 wide. So its habit is to just kind of go horizontal. You can see has a little bit of pink, if you can see that in the background of my dirty hands. A little bit of pink on the new growth, and then it'll kind of have a chartreuse color during the summer, and then really bright oranges, reds in the fall time. So I think we're going to take that guy. I'm probably just going to put him right about right there. That way he can kind of just go horizontal and reach out towards the driveway and give us a nice, beautiful little specimen plant right there. All right, guys, I got us a nice big hole dug here. As you can see, if I set him down in there, he's way too deep. So we're going to add some of our good stuff compost to the bottom of the hole. Kind of elevate him a little bit and raise him up. We definitely don't want to plant this guy too deep. That would be certain death for him. And I ran out of my Biotone starter, so we're just going to use some Tree Tone, made by the same company. A little different chemical composition, but it's still that great organic fertilizer that we really want to add to any new planting. I'm just going to take and kind of mix that in just a little bit. Then we're going to take our pink lace, lay him on his side, give him a few good smacks. And we got some weeds that came home from the nursery with us. We're going to rip those off. Just throw those in the bottom of the hole and let them give back what they stole out of the pot. Now this has got some really cool root structure to it, and I really want to kind of accentuate that. I think if we leave that well above the soil level and build up, it'll kind of give the effect of, that this tree's been here for quite some time. All right, let's see if that was enough. It's close. I think we're going to add a little bit more soil because I really want him kind of planted up on a mound. So what we can do, we can take some of our native soil and throw it back in the hole, minus the pine cone. Break this up real good. chunk these roots out of the way, and then we can come in and get our biotone, our tree tone, and our compost, blend it all back together. And I'm liking that right there. And I'm gonna leave that root structure facing the driveway, because as she gets bigger, hopefully those will just get larger too. And I think that'll look really cool. All right, and before we put dirt around her, I brought us a couple pots of compost. We just kind of want to take a look, and I'm gonna go ahead, and you can see that Y shape in the middle. And so we're in the driveway. I'm gonna just kind of space it to where we've got a spray going off to the left and to the right. I think that looks really, really cool, especially with those roots. If those will continue to grow and get large on top of the ground, that's gonna look awesome. Okay, now we're just gonna come in with our good stuff, compost, sprinkle it all around the plant. We're gonna tamp it in a little bit, but nothing crazy. Again, we don't want to suffocate the roots, but we don't want our tree blowing over either. And we're going to bring some of the native soil back in around here and incorporate that with our compost and just gently kind of tamp it in. And our final bucket of compost right here. This is going to look so awesome with those roots, y'all. I'm going to take this extra material and drag it back towards the front of the tree so we don't have such a heavy slope coming down towards the driveway, and that'll help kind of catch water and hold it around the root ball too. So how cool does that look, guys? I'm going to get down and show you. That is going to be so awesome. Those old roots, it's going to look like a little bonsai along our driveway. Give us that beautiful fall color. Again, that is pink lace, Japanese maple, and I think that is just the perfect spot for it. We've got a couple of hours of direct sunlight that it'll get every day, and then as you can see the sun setting over there. We want to give these Japanese maples afternoon shade, especially during July and August. They really need it, or else you'll get some leaf burn. But it is definitely getting hot. We're just exactly mid-May right now. And I think we hit 80 something a day. So gotta hurry up and try to get my plants planted before it gets too doggone hot. But we're just limited for time. But we're doing what we can do. Appreciate you guys watching. Always remember, the more you know, the more you grow. I'll see you on the next video. Leave me some comments, guys. See ya.